In this video, we're going to be taking a look at exercise 5-23 isometric. So to start this one, I'm going to go to new, and we will select our metric template and say open. Now, just like we've been doing with the previous ones, I want to turn on my isometric mode and make sure that my polar tracking is set to 30, 60, 90. And I'm going to start this one just by drawing the front view along the 30-degree axis. So this is going to go 100. From there, this is going to go up 30. It comes back in 30, up 20, across 40, down 35, and then it's going to come back out to where it meets up with this corner. Now, the easiest way to do the isometrics is to do them in sections. So I'm going to draw this as if it's a solid block, then I'm going to cut the holes, and then I'm going to cut the slot. So I want to copy all of these edges right here back the depth, which is 50. Then I can go to my line command and I can draw all of the corners in. Make sure you get your snaps when you draw these in. This corner here I really don't need to draw in, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that out. And then I can trim out this line segment and erase that line. So what I have here now is I've got the basic block, and I need to put in the holes that go through the top. So I'm going to locate those holes by drawing a line in 13 here and a line in 13 here. Those are going to be the center points for my holes. Now you'll notice that I've got different isoplanes. Right now my crosshair is lined up with the front view. That is a front isoplane. If I come down here to this, I can click here and I can see isoplane left, which is what I have lined up with the front. I can see isoplane right, which would line me up with the right-hand side, and I can see isoplane top, which would line me up with the top. Now, since these holes are on the top view, I want to select isoplane top. Now I can go to the ellipse command, and under the options for the ellipse command, I'm going to select isocircle. And then I'm going to put this in with a diameter of 20. Copy this from this endpoint to this endpoint, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim out everything up here that I don't need and is not going to be visible anymore. So this hole here is complete. This hole right here, I do need to verify that it's not going to be visible at the depth, so I'm going to copy this isocircle from this endpoint to this endpoint. Now, because none of this is visible on the inside of here, I can go ahead and delete that and delete this. Next, I want to draw a line right across this midpoint and do another ellipse isocircle option on the midpoint here. Now, if you're in the wrong isoplane, it'll look wrong. So if I hit Control F, that's OSNAP on and off. It used to switch the isoplanes, but if I was, say, in the left isoplane and I did an ellipse isocircle right here, you can see that that's not in the correct orientation. So I can come down here and select top even while I'm in the command. So I'm in the diameter mode, and the diameter for this circle is 30. Now, before I do anything else, I do want to copy this line here over 10 this way, and then copy it back 10 this way, because this is going to be the cutout on the front. So now I can trim out what I don't need here and get rid of the rest of the lines. So we'll get rid of all of this. And I can even go as far as to trim this, but I don't want to trim this yet because I'm going to need part of this geometry here in a minute. So next I'm going to copy these three objects down the depth of this cutout, which is 15. So now that I've got that piece of this cutout, I can draw in the vertical lines between here and then draw in the front face of that cut. Now I'm going to do this in a couple of different trim operations. I'm going to trim out that segment right there because there's no visible edge there. Then I'm going to trim out between these two lines. I'm going to trim that piece because that piece is gone. And then I'm going to trim between here and here. We'll trim all of this out. So this is the part of the hole that I can see through this cutout. This line can go away, and then I just need a vertical line. I'm going to zoom in to make sure that I grab that end point down to that end point. And then what we have here now is we've got the completed isometric for this particular exercise.